Alright, so today we're going to go over some things that I want you to think about before we read chapters 3 and 4. So first of all, today we're going to be describing the settings. So I want you to pay attention when the author uses vivid description about a time or a place. So what does that mean exactly? Describing words are called adjectives. An adjective describes a noun. And pause for a second. A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. An adjective can also describe a pronoun, which is like I, you, he, she, they, it, or this. Adjectives tell how many, what kind, or which one. So I'm going to geek out for a second here. I love this stuff. So something I want you to take a look at and kind of think about that is, in my opinion, really cool is the order of adjectives. So in the English language, when you describe something, you always put your adjectives in the same order. So you're always going to say, if you look at your screen, you're always going to have your determiner first. You're like telling how many usually, an opinion, the size, the shape, the age, the color, the origin, the material, the purpose, and then finally you're going to have the thing that you're describing or your noun. So you're always going to put them in this same order. And it sounds really messed up if you try to switch them around. So you're always going to say a small red suitcase. You're not going to say a red small suitcase because people will hear that and they'll say, wait, what? That's not how it works. For adjectives, you always use this order. So anyway, I think it's cool. Okay, so what are we going to do with this? You're going to use those descriptive words to paint a mental picture. So we can call that visualizing. So visualizing is when you make mental pictures that change as you read, like a movie playing in your brain. And I know, sorry, my video covers up the little dude down there, but that's okay. All right, so one of the best parts about books, one thing that I really, really love about them is that your mental picture is going to be different from my mental picture. So if the author is describing a brown horse, my brown horse could look very different in my brain than your brown horse. And it kind of depends on what the author chooses to talk about, what details they want to include, and what they leave out. So if they're talking about a brown horse running in a pasture, okay, well, I could think of the one in that top corner, the brown horse running in the pasture. It could be really dark. Or you could be thinking about the one right there in the middle in the top. It's a brown horse running in a pasture, but it's a lot lighter of a horse. The pasture's a little different. They have a white blaze. It's up to you. So it depends on what the author says and what details your brain fills in so that your mental picture could be totally different from mine. And then if the author decides to say, oh, it's a stuffed horse or it's a horse with a saddle, all of those things that maybe seem small really add up to create the setting or the character or some type of description that the author's trying to do. So, okay, another geek out side note for me. These are different fan art examples that real people have made about a real a character in a book. Actually, I have it right here. So this book, Ink Exchange, one of the main characters' name is Ariel. And in this book, Ariel, he's described pretty stinking well and multiple times. But so people who read that book made fan art. Obviously, it's not a movie, so they only could go off of the descriptions in the book. And they did that, and then based on what they saw in their mind, they made fan art. So we have 3 different examples of fan art. This is all of the same character. And you'll notice that some things are really similar, maybe in the face shape. Also, they all have dark hair. One of them shows the wings that are a big part of the character. The other 2 don't because he doesn't always show them. But those details that you put into the character yourself and the character, the details that author gives you can make a big difference. And I love how different people are going to see and think of characters differently. And that's why it's always really interesting to me to read a book and then watch the movie about that book, because there are so many differences, and it's cool to see the things that other people saw the same way you did, and to see things that other people saw totally differently. It's not at all how you imagined it. And I don't know, I geek out about that. I love that stuff. And like with the movie, there's no room for you to imagine this stuff. Like with the book and this character example I gave you, there's a lot of room to imagine and to fill in the details. And I like that. I think that's really cool. I'd rather do that most of the time and kind of paint a picture in my mind using those words than to have somebody show me exactly what the character has to look like, because that's the only way I'm going to think of that character once I see somebody else's like movie depiction of the characters. Anyway, side note. All right, back to the point. So your job today is to listen closely for descriptions, especially descriptions of settings.